Alex R. Wagner, and this is No News is News, Saturday night edition. We got some interviews with some Israel officials. The president of Israel spoke on Fox News earlier in a 15-minute speech. We'll get to that later tonight. We got some updates on the war, some updates on Spain, as well as some updates on Savannah Guthrie's mother, which we kind of went into a little bit last night. Guys, remember to double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, get all your news every single day, 7 days a week by becoming a member, $4 a month. Get those exclusive YouTube shorts as well as all that support stuff that you get during the live show. Appreciate you all stopping by. We are live from Austin, Texas, and this is No News is News. Okay. Let's check those Kelce odds, make sure that nothing crazy happened, but it's been the same and it will continue to probably be the same for a while here. The markets say those four men are still the four men that we're going with. And so, our poll today, again, is who will be president in 2028? 829 days until election. We got Mr. J.D. Vance, and he's got how many wins now? 75 wins. 75 wins for Mr. J.D. Vance. Then we got Mr. Marco Rubio, and he's got 4 wins. We've got then Mr. Gavin Newsom, and he's got 20 wins. And then finally we have John Ossoff, who has 1 win on our poll of the day. Get your vote in now. The show starts now. Why is this so dark? I need that to be brighter. Brighten that mofo up. All right, let's pull him up. Let's get the show going. And here we go. All right, guys, let's get into the news real quick, as we do every day. Did you guys see that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson joined together under one Iranian flag to have a dinner or something? It was really Last Supper-ish, and they were trying to make it look Last Supper-ish. So, good luck to them. I don't know what they're doing with the turbans and the Iranian flag and all that. That's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of crazy they're doing all that. But anyway, on to the news of the day, y'all. Okay, let's see what's going on here. 6 months since her Savannah Guthrie's mother renews her plea for help. CNBC and NPR. Trump Media's new paid data service goes live, gives faster access to Trump's posts. President Trump's social media company launched this Saturday a new paid data service, giving some Wall Street traders and investment firms faster access to the president's posts on his Truth Social platform. For a fee of up to $100,000 a month, trading firms can access Truth API to get a glimpse of the president's often market-moving announcements about economic policy and global affairs before the rest of the world. There are legal concerns surrounding... There are legal concerns surrounding the service. Renee Jones, a former top official at the Securities and Exchange Commission, told NPR that the paid offering appears to run afoul of insider trading laws. At the same time, offering specialized data access to paid customers is not unusual or illegal for social media companies. Renowned climber Narmal Parja and 9 other mountaineers died in an avalanche while scaling a mountain in Pakistan on Thursday, Parja's expedition company said Saturday. Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, the British Nepali mountaineer was one of 10 climbers who were struck by an avalanche on Thursday on Broad Peak, one of the world's highest mountains. Earlier on Saturday, a local tourism minister of the region in Pakistan said 4 bodies had been recovered and several other bodies were spotted by a drone. Rescuers don't expect to find anyone alive because of the intensity of the avalanche, he said. In 2019, Persia scaled one of the world's 14 peaks higher than 8,000 meters, or about 26,250 feet, in 6 months and 6 days, a world record at the time. His achievement was the subject of Netflix documentary 14 Peaks. So, RIP and go watch the movie 14 Peaks on Netflix. Politico. Trump will push anti-weaponization fund if AG pick not confirmed. President Trump said earlier Saturday he would push to get $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund qualified into law if the Senate does not confirm his Attorney General pick, Todd Blanche. The fund has emerged as a key issue stalling Blanche's confirmation with Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina, who are both departing the Senate after the midterms because they lost their primaries. They're freaking rhinos, and I can't stand that they're throwing a little fit. They're withholding their support of the Senate Judiciary Committee unless the White House commits shelving the proposal in writing. Now Trump says the fund is back on the table, and maybe he'll even keep Blanche on in an acting capacity if he can't get his way in Congress next week. This is from Donald Trump on True Social. If Senators Cornyn and Tillis are both upset because I wouldn't endorse them, they lost and quit respectively, aren't going to approve Todd Blanche, one of the most respected professionals according to everyone in the country, to be the United States Attorney General, then I will keep Todd on as acting Attorney General and push hard to get the anti-weaponization bill, which takes care of those who have been so badly treated by the crooked Joe Biden and Obamas. And he spelled Obama with a U in the middle. I don't know what that means. Administration, I get nothing, although I was treated horribly. Past. Todd Blanche was a voice of reason. It must immediately be back on the table, and I will get it done. I will get my way. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. The nearly $1.8 billion fund announced in May was set to be paid to pay people who claim they were politically persecuted. It was part of a settlement to resolve Trump's lawsuit against the IRS and Treasury Department, but the DOJ publicly scrapped the plan after bipartisan pushback. Trump declared the fund dead in a cabinet meeting on Camp David on Friday. Blanche testified before a congressional committee in June. We're not moving forward with the fund, said Blanche. Tillis and Cornyn have said they want to ensure that the White House does not reverse course on the fund, especially if Trump continues to argue that it is needed. The Department of Justice has provided the senators with language that says Blanche's May 18th order established the anti-weaponization fund in reconciled and shall have no force or effect, according to the document reviewed by AP. Cornyn and Tillis have said they also want some clarification on separate piece of settlement that would grant Trump and members of his family immunity from tax audits. Cornyn said this week that it was his understanding that the audits could extend to more than 100 different Trump Organization subsidiaries. The Senate Judiciary Committee has scheduled a meeting on Tuesday to consider Blanche's nomination, but to get his nomination out of the committee, both Tillis and Cornyn would need to join their Republican colleagues to vote yes on his nomination. NBC, PBS, and New York Times. Arizona, California, and Nevada would share cuts under federal proposal of Colorado River. Committees and farms across Arizona, Nevada, and California face potentially drastic cuts in the water they can use from the Colorado River over the next decade under the plan the Trump administration pushed on Friday. The proposal spares 4 other states from facing mandatory cuts for now. It's meant to be flexible, allowing deeper cuts in drier times while giving the states more time to collectively agree to how to manage the dwindling resource that flows through the dams to produce hydropower. The proposal comes as rising temperatures and decades of drought and water overuse have overwhelmed a river system that provides water to 1 of 10 Americans in the United States. It irrigates land producing 15% of U.S. food outputs, the generative power for 6 million people in 7 states. Wow. The Arizona Department of Water Resources called the Bureau reclamation proposal unacceptable and noted it did not require cuts of the 4 upper bison states, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Lawsuits from states could challenge the federal intervention. Trump is doubling down on his claims that the reflecting pool was vandalized. Donald Trump on Truth Social today. I disagree 100% with Jeanine Pirro, the United States attorney from the District of Columbia, on the reflecting pool. I don't know what she was thinking. To me, it was a pure case of vandalism that included the grass, which had big 8647 embezzled in giant letters on it, and other elements of surrounding area. There may have been some contractor difficulty, but there may have been some contractor difficulty. You see how he almost admitted fault there? That's like a real, Donald Trump barely almost admitted fault there. There may have been some contractor difficulty, but the major damage was caused by vandals, in all caps. President DJT. A day after the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, which is headed by Jeanine Shapiro, dropped its case against the former Olympic canoeist tied alleged vandalism there after the documents showed the damage was the result of flawed installation by the contractor. Trump is linking the vandalism claim to the etching of 8647 that appeared on the National Mall's grass in June, which is near the reflecting pool. The Justice Department said it is difficult to attribute the widespread damage to the reflecting pool to vandalism, let alone establish the fact beyond a reasonable doubt. The fight over the centuries-old reflecting pool, which sits at the foot of the Lincoln Memorial and has played host to famous speeches and events, has unexpectedly emerged as a major flashpoint in the Trump second term. Trump announced plans in April to overhaul the pool, saying he had personally picked out a new color for the bison, American flag blue, and had recommended contractors based on his experience managing pools at his various resorts. The Trump administration awarded the contract to Atlantic Industrial Coating, LLC, a no-bid contract to work on the reflecting pool. The cost of the federal contract increased to $14.7 million after it was first bid at $1.5 million. New York Times, Pirro, a longtime ally of President Trump's, announced the indictment against David Hearn on July 2nd, saying she had tremendous evidence that Hearn had committed a felony and noted that he had faced up to 10 years in prison. On Friday, Pirro said that her prosecutors had been misled by the Interior Department and that the pool's new blue coating had actually started the peel because of the rushed installation within 2 days of the project's completion. Hearn's lawyer said the move to dismiss charges does not erase the abuse of government power in arresting and charging a patriotic American who did nothing wrong. The government's approach was ready, fire, aim. The administration owes Mr. Hearn an apology. This is a right-winger. This is not even a leftist. And here you are blaming him because he touched some water. Facts, my guy. The reflecting pool has been fenced off and redrained so the lining can be inspected and repaired. In a recent filing in a separate court case, the Interior Department has said it would be closed until August 10th. Well, that's not July 4th, so get it the fuck done, Trump, or get the fuck out. My God, my guy. NPR and Axios 7 hours ago. Ahmed whoever bar, the fucking Muslim guy running in Michigan. He's not AIPAC. Vote for the Muslim. Woo! Michigan. who's backed by Bernie Sanders and AOC, is taking an establishment favorite in the race that's become a proxy fight for the future of the party. Democratic leaders have gone all in for the Stevenson because they think she can win moderate votes, and El Said can't. The four-term Congresswoman flipped a suburban white district. Both polls show El Said, who ran for governor in 2018 but lost in the Democratic primary, polling ahead. One survey this week said El Said, an epidemiologist up 15 points over polls, have shown him with a smaller but still substantial lead over Stevenson. Yeah, who are they polling? Who are they polling? The radicals. The radicals. The radicals in the streets. They're pulling the radicals in the streets, y'all. The political stakes are high for the Democrats as they try to flip the Senate. Now remember, guys, if you live in the state of Georgia, though, vote for John Ossoff, condemn Nazism, condemn Nick Fuentes, vote for AIPAC. If you're in Michigan, though, El Said, get away from AIPAC, vote against Stevenson. Like, come on, guys. These are your own fucking primaries. What are you doing here? The politics stakes are high for the Democrats as they try to flip the Senate. Democratic Senator Gary Peters currently holds the seat but is not running for re-election. On the Republican side, former Rep. Mike Rogers is running for the Senate for the second time. He lost to Elisa Stefanik on a Democrat, but by fewer than 20,000 votes in 2024. Who is El Said? He is campaigning on the progressive platform that includes abolishing ICE and Medicare for all, higher taxes on the wealthy, and stronger criticism of Israel's government. El Said is not a democratic socialist, and he is not endorsed by the Democratic Socialists of America, but aligned with many of their positions on issues. El Said studied at the University of Michigan, Oxford as a Rhodes Scholar, and Columbia, earning degrees in medicine and epidemiology. He left medical medicine saying the healthcare system prioritizes profits over patients. He has worked as a professor and was the executive director of the Detroit Health Department. He lost the Michigan governor's primary in 2018, but by more than 20 points to Gretchen Whitmer. Since then, he has worked in academia and in media, co-authored a book promoting Medicare for all. Ooh, revolution, guys. We're all going to get our free healthcare from the government. Woo! Fucking 2030. Let's go. Detroit News. One of the highest profile issues in the race has been U.S. support for Israel and outside spending by groups like U.S. pro-Israel lobby group AIPAC. But don't worry, guys. If you're in Georgia, make sure that you vote for the AIPAC guy. El Said argues that $3 billion a year in the U.S. military aid to Israel should instead be redirected towards domestic priorities such as healthcare, housing, and education. The annual U.S. Secretary assessment package amounts to about 0.04% of the $7 trillion in federal spending. Through El Said argues that the issue is about national priorities. El Said has called for the ending of U.S. military aid, doesn't believe Israel has the right to exist as a Jewish state, and faced criticism over his initial response to the attacks on the Michigan synagogue. Stevenson posted on X Thursday that El Said wants to blame all the problems on the Jews. Sounds facts. All right, healthcare is one of El Said's signature issues, but critics note that his wife, psychiatrist Sarah Jajovsku, doesn't accept Medicare or private insurance at her practice. Backed by the United Auto Workers and other progressive groups, El Said is doing best with white, college-educated young voters. On CNN, El Said recently said Democrats who believe in human rights have no reason to support Israel's government, and argued that every definition of the Jewish state ends up in some artificial liberation of values. Oh my God, this guy is... He has had campaigned for the far left. Oh my God. He did an interview with Hassan Piker. Oh my God, guys. Jesus Christ. Woo. Stevenson pitch to Michigan Democrats is simple. She's a proven winner who has kept the purple state blue in the Senate. Stevenson flipped a Republican-held House Senate House seat in suburban Detroit in 2018 and hasn't lost since. Before her 4 terms in Congress, Stevenson served as chief of staff for the Obama administration Auto Task Force. She is campaigning on boosting U.S. auto manufacturing and taking on President Donald Trump. Stevens does not call for the abolishment of ICE, rather to redirect the agency's funding. Stevens has largely avoided discussing AIPAC's spending, though not Jewish, she has long been one of Congress's strongest supporters of Israel. At the same time, she has criticized Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, saying during a recent debate that he has not made us safer, has not brought us closer to peace, and he's endangering Jews here in America and around the world. AIPAC and the American pro-Israel lobby group has so far spent more than $30 million on ads backing Stevens, according to data from ADL Impact. 6 other super PACs have not disclosed their donors, have spent more than $29 million retrospectively also on Stevens. Stevens' Senate bid has a 11-1 advantage in outside spending. Oh my God. So she's getting literally $59 million and the other guy is just grifting with AOC and Bernie Sanders for healthcare. Man, if the boy gets it, MS Now, both campaigns are working to gain support among Michigan black voters, a demographic key to winning on Tuesday. Black voters make up roughly a quarter of the state's Democratic electorate. The Congressional Black Caucus endorsed Stevens, but at least 5 of its younger progressive members have broken to back El-Sayed. El-Sayed is working to peel off enough black voters to deny Stevens a win, much as Sanders did in Michigan in 2016's presidential primary over Clinton, when Sanders carried the state while winning roughly 28% of the black vote. For Stevens, victory means running up turnout among Democrats' most reliable voters in places like Wayne County, where she has spent the bulk of her campaign's final weeks, and Detroit, and the largest major black city in the country. I'm sorry. Stevens does not deserve it. You gave her $59 million. The other guy's a fucking Muslim. He's hanging out with AOC, and he's still up in the polls? You do not deserve to win. Fuck Stevens. Let's go El-Sayed. All right. Kelce traders have El-Sayed at a 79% win streak. That's crazy. Being outbid 11-1, and Kelce's got 94% on the guy that has less than $1 million in his bank. He is a point margin favorite on the Zenith Research by 19, SoCal by 17, Mitchell Research by 14, Emerson College 16, and Tavern Research 11. Holy shit, this guy's going to destroy them. And they got $59 million they put into this lady. Most money ever put on a Michigan Democratic Senate race for Stevens. Dude, they're not going to get it either. That's crazy. All right, let's get into the news now, guys, as we do every day on this show. Where are my headphones? This is always a fucking problem, ain't it, Jerry? I always do this to myself. Where did I put them? God damn it. Did I put them behind me? No, I didn't. I must have put them in the other room. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just do this here, where I just put the sound down and I just give you guys the video. But I will be back in 1 second here, and I will have my headphones so that I can be with you doing this.
What's going on in the Middle East? Let's get right to Steve Harrigan. He's live for us in Tel Aviv right now. Steve.
John, Kuwait reporting attacks from Iran, drone attacks from the early morning hours. No casualties reported. Also confirmation now that Iran did try and attack 2 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, causing damage to one of them, nearly missing the other, but perhaps causing a short spike in oil prices. In the meantime, President Trump has warned about a major series of attacks against Iran that could be coming. He also expressed...
Let me switch my headphones into here so I can get this in. What the fuck? Woohoo. Oh no. 1 second, guys. Stay with me. Stay with me, please. There we go.
Frustration in negotiations with Iran, saying the leadership
Kuwait
often
reports
says
drone
one thing
attacks
and
from
then
Fox
ends
News.
up doing another. Here's President Trump.
I'm embarrassed about Stevens. Isn't that so sad?
Losing faith in them.
Like, she had to have been really
they
bad.
do lie and they do misrepresent. Well, the other day, the 5 missiles were shot. We knocked them down, but we were in the midst of a negotiation. I mean, I'm waiting for Steve to call me. How's the negotiation going? And instead, I got a call from Pete that they just shot 5 missiles at one of our bases in Jordan.
It's clear that tensions in the region are rising in anticipation of potential heavy strikes ahead. A number of U.S. embassies warning American citizens either to return home or don't come to the region due to safety concerns. John, back to you.
All right, Steve Harrigan reporting live from Tel Aviv. Thank you, Steve.
All right,
Be
guys.
sure to like and subscribe.
God, shut up, dork. Fox News. Trump needs to finish the job with Iran. Representative Crawford argues.
7 states, including Minnesota. Some utilities now forced to switch over to manual operations. But President Trump is rejecting the idea that Iranian hackers are behind these attacks. The president is blaming instead Minnesota and its governor, Tim Walz. Despite federal agencies days ago warning that Iranian hackers were targeting the same kinds of systems.
We'll talk about nuclear, and we'll be in there talking about
That's
nuclear
a vague.
for 7 hours.
That's a vague statement. But why is Fox News going against
it?
it?
10 minutes. You have
That's
5
weird.
minutes. You should solve it. But 7 hours, and then they'll go out, and I'll say they discussed nuclear, and they'll go out and they'll say we never discussed nuclear, and I say why do they say that? All they do is make me angry. You know, they just make me angry.
President Trump there reportedly ordering a fresh round of strikes on Iran that could start as soon as today or tomorrow. For more, let's bring in House Intelligence Committee Chairman.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that, like, she didn't have a choice what she said about in the campaign. Everyone knows AIPAC had her funded. Yeah, there is that, but then why is AIPAC giving John Ossoff $77 million and every Democrat in Georgia is like, yeah, vote against the neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes. The guy I'm running against is a neo-Nazi that supports Nick Fuentes. And it's like, Nick Fuentes is the anti-AIPAC guy. So, like, what kind of fucking weird circle jerk are we doing here?
Rick Crawford, Chairman, thank you
John
so much
Ossoff
for
got
joining us.
$77 million from AIPAC.
I want to ask you about
Crazy.
what we might see happen over this weekend. We are waiting to find out if strikes are imminent. What do you think the president should do with Iran?
Why would Iran give a rat's ass about Minnesota? Very fucking true. And also, here's the facts, is like, whether it was Iran or not, this is what the fucking media always does. They do this hyperbole where they're like, well, someone said that it might be able to, that they have the ability to, why can't you just let us tie the story to Iran? And it's like, why don't we focus on the fact that the people that had a giant Somali immigration issue on Christmas Eve are now also the people with the Leering Center, and now they literally can't keep their fucking sewage running? They're the only state. Even if Iran hacked them, why did they hack them? Maybe they hacked Minnesota because Minnesota doesn't know how to fucking spell.
Well, I think he should finish the job, quite frankly. I think what we see here is he has given them tremendous leash, diplomatically speaking. And it's been met with, complete disrespect. As you heard him say, he talks about nuclear disarmament, and then they come out and say, we never discussed nuclear disarmament. Mm-hmm. I believe that President Trump has given them every opportunity diplomatically to resolve this issue, and they refuse. So there's really nothing more to do. I think that, the red lines have been crossed. He's given them every opportunity, and they're showing no willingness to do it. So I support the kinetic action that's being undertaken now.
There's also this idea that potentially striking them hard in one big wave would do us better, especially because there's these reports out, I'm sure you've seen, of our defense missile capabilities.
We got some breaking news real quick, guys. Let me just pull this up real quick. Just let me get these ones on for you, and then we will get right back to the news on Fox. Here we go. Long-term reporter and Michigander Ron Feiderman sums up the Michigan Senate race. Stevens did something extraordinary when Al Sayed supporters started mocking the Congresswoman for her deep Michigan accent and generally awkward persona. She embraced the criticism with a self-effective response that suggests that the attacks were not aimed at her, but at all Michiganders. A little bit of a stick in them is her stab at the gritty populism. As for El Said, he's one of the most talented political athletes in American politics. A politician who changes the chemistry in rooms and is as comfortable courting tiny audiences of moderates in northern Michigan public libraries as he is speaking in a large audiences of liberal activists in ballrooms. I've seen him in both places. His retail politics skills remind me of the first politician I ever covered. His name was Governor Bill Clinton of Arkansas. If he wins on Tuesday and again in November, El Said will ride the rapturous winds of political celebrity and instantly become a Democratic star, seen as a political presidential candidate, especially since Mayor Mondani cannot be one not born in the United States. It seems as though El Said is in the trajectory to win this Michigan primary, but also be funneled by donors of the Democratic Socialist Movement as their first major political presidential candidate. And then our last thing is at least the 3 dead, 2 injured in shooting in In-N-Out Burger in Idaho. Shooter is dead. A gunman killed 2 people and wounded several others at a brand new In-N-Out Burger in Twin Falls, Idaho on Saturday, sending panicked patrons running for their lives. The Twin Falls police received a call around 2:30 p.m. local time about an active shooter inside the dining area at the In-N-Out Burger restaurant at Blue Lakes Boulevard. A witness said he saw a person carrying what he described as an AR style rifle come out of the drive-thru area before another man armed with a pistol began firing at the suspect. The suspect is among the dead. Investigators were working to identify the shooter and to determine a motive. All right, guys, let's get back to it now. Back to the news.
Stockpiles when it comes to the THAADs and the Patriot missiles. This is a Wall Street Journal op-ed I want to read to you here.
Everybody tap that screen,
if the
absolutely.
U.S. really is running out of missiles and interceptors, that should be a 5-alarm fire. Mr. Trump should be calling on Congress to skip its recess and do something about it immediately. But if the missile gap is being floated for political purposes by officials who want Mr. Trump to stand down, then the president should banish those voices from the Situation Room. Are we looking at a missile shortage here, sir?
Well, I think magazine depth is always a topic of conversation, whether it's ours or theirs, and that's fair. That's a fair subject to address. But I do think there are some folks that may raise this for political reasons as ammunition to essentially say we don't need to be involved in Iran. And the fact is that this has gone on for 47 plus years. It's time that it's resolved. Iran has used the Strait of Hormuz as leverage to be able to develop weapons of mass destruction. Potentially, we know they've developed ballistic missiles with pretty...
Guys, make sure that you double tap that screen, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live every day, 7 days a week. We give you the news and the best of YouTube. $4 memberships help support the channel. Let's keep it going.
Extensive reach and range, and they've done that behind their ability to be able to leverage the Strait of Hormuz to their own effect. So that's a red line that's been crossed. We also know that they've had nuclear ambitions for quite some time. No secret there. That has been crossed. This is it's as unfortunate as this is. The time has come, and the president that's willing to address it is sitting in the Oval Office right now. And I applaud his efforts to try to resolve this peacefully, but they seem unwilling to listen to any peaceful opportunities.
Okay, I want to also ask you about these reports that China is potentially supplying weapons to
Not
Iran.
potentially.
China
They
has
fucking
denied
sold them
this.
400 weapons.
This is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent this week, confident that China is not selling weapons to Iran, but here's what he said about what would happen if they were. Watch.
If there were a proven delivery of manpads, shoulder-powered rockets. That would be very problematic. I think that President Xi...
Oh, it would be problematic? Oh, thanks. You know what? You sound like the fucking people in Spain with the border, bro.
Respect for President Trump. Chinese
problematic?
leadership will
No
make sure
shit.
that private sector actors
I don't think we need that.
do not transact in those kind of weapons.
Oh, okay. Don't do it.
Chairman,
Nice
if
job.
this is true, if China is indeed going behind our backs and helping Iran out,
Duh.
should the White House be inviting President Xi
It's confirmed.
to
This
Washington
is
in September?
That's a question that's probably better directed to Secretary Rubio and the president himself. But I will say this, that China has an extensive network to be able to distribute weapons to various countries, and so it's quite possible that Chinese originating weapons could find their way into Iran. I don't know. I'm not saying that.
I don't know exactly, but you do know because you got the same report we all got, and they are.
I'm saying
they are. They're giving them 400 weapons. They gave them already. They sold them to them.
Manufacturing weapons. What they do
confirmed.
is, for example, the RPG.
Everybody's just all fucking trying to be nice. It's World War III. Wake the fuck up, everybody.
That's a very simple. Been on the battlefield for decades. RPGs are manufactured in China. They're knockoffs of the original Soviet models. And they've
Drop
found
the
their way across
bomb! Drop the
world in
bomb! What are you doing?
Theaters for decades. So
wait
it's
for
not
them to drop the
unreasonable to
bomb.
think that some Chinese knockoffs could appear in Iran through proxies. And I think that we have to be concerned about that. But I am encouraged if Secretary Bessent says there's an agreement that there'll be no direct sales from China to Iran, that's encouraging. But we do need to make sure that there's no back channel movement there as well.
If we do discover that this is true, and it comes
Jesus
out,
Christ, we already know it's true!
Well, I mean, I'm not going to speculate on hypotheticals what the response would be, but certainly the point that you raised about is it appropriate for us to be meeting with the Chinese?
Bro, Russia's attacking us. China's attacking us. We need to get the fucking goddamn rockets out. Let's go!
I would bring that question up. I think that, we want to make sure that we're engaging with the Chinese in good faith, and they're engaging in good faith with us.
Good faith. Nice.
And I'm not sure that's going to be the case if they are working around finding backdoor ways to support Iran.
Especially if it's putting our service members at risk. That
Absolutely.
would be quite a problem. Chairman, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my God, guys. Come on. All right. Up next, we got Fox News. This was 10 hours ago. Commercial ships attacked in the Hormuz Strait.
Next to another ship.
We're going to go back to Steve Harrigan with the latest from Tel Aviv.
That's right. Initially, it was Iran state television claiming that they attacked 2 oil tankers yesterday in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, British maritime experts are confirming that 2 tankers were attacked, at least 1 was hit, and 4 of them turned around. So this is a sign of continuing attacks against commercial shipping in the Strait, something the U.S., of course, wants to stop, and it's something President Trump has cited in his decision that he's considering about perhaps launching major strikes against Iran once again. Those strikes could begin as early as this weekend. They could last several days. Here's President Trump.
67 viewers.
We'll be hitting them. We'll be hitting them very hard. And at some point, they're going to say, we just can't take it anymore.
That decision comes after a great deal of frustration with time given for diplomacy to work. Despite that timeout, Iran has continued to attack both commercial shipping, as we've just seen, and also U.S. military positions in the region. Here's what President Trump said about trying to make a deal with the Iranians.
Viable college student loans for viable degrees.
I'm
otherwise
losing faith in them because they do lie.
That's for sure.
And they do misrepresent.
That's why we got El Sayed over here in the AOC.
We knocked them down, but we were in the midst of a negotiation. I mean, I'm waiting for Steve to call me. How's the negotiation going? And instead, I got a call from Pete that they just shot 5 missiles at one of our bases in Jordan.
There's definitely a sense here on the ground that things could be heating up. The U.S. Embassy here warning Americans to stay away from the region. If they are already here, they should consider going home. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, and Steve, British Maritime sort of giving us some of those details, saying both of these ships that seem to have been targeted were fairly close to the shore of Oman. And that certainly would add complexity to the situation as President Trump decides whether or not to strike.
Certainly, these are targets on commercial navigation. There's a belief not only in the U.S. but worldwide that this should be an area of free trade, not controlled by any country, and certainly not attacked by any country. It's an attack also that could prove to spike oil prices in the short term. So some real repercussions and anger from this attack, and we might see that as part of a reason for a U.S. response.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve. We've seen, some division around the world about the original plan to go after the nuke program in Iran. But one of the things I don't think that there is much division about is whether or not ships can pass freely through the Strait of Hormuz. Every single country in the world is invested in making sure the Strait of Hormuz is free to a free and open and fair trade through there. And, and Iran may be, thinking that they can kind of play some games because of politics going on in the United States of America. But if this is going to be their strategy, I think they're going to wind up with not only the United States, but
Larive, welcome to the Mod Club. Don't abuse it or you lose it. Appreciate you.
Countries around the world
keeping the conversations
getting involved going to want to make sure that that strait remains open.
Yeah, and you remember early on, the president noted that. He said, listen, this isn't just for America. This is about the entire world, and everyone should be on board to not only denuclearize, but as you say, Charlie, make sure the strait is open. It does feel like, though, this is sort of all Iran has left. This is their only leverage point at all, is the strait, right? And so I think we're probably going to see more of this happen. They're going to hang on until the bitter end. But as we heard from the president at Camp David, he's willing to take it to him even harder if he has to.
Yeah, and clearly Iran thinks they have leverage with the Strait of Hormuz, but President Trump has made very clear that is not ultimately going to be something that they will have. Meanwhile, have you seen these images coming out of the...
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the...
Next one we got out of Fox News 2 hours ago. Spain says most migrants from the Enclave have returned to Morocco. Do we believe him, guys?
Terribly left a small Spanish enclave on the coast of North Africa days after they poured across the border from Morocco. The incident triggered chaos and sparked outrage across Europe. Stephanie Bennett is in London with more on that. Stephanie.
John, dozens of migrants died during the stampede, while many others drowned. The military has been deployed to try to further get rid of most of these people who are coming across, many of which still coming through this morning undeterred. Now, this morning, Spain installed this 16-foot barrier along the sea border between its North African territory of Ceuta and neighboring Morocco after nearly 60,000 migrants stormed.
Oh, there you go. That was it. That's it. We did it. It's over, guys. The end. Look at that. That's all it took, guys. They told them to go home. They're all back home now, and they put up this little sea border. So they're not going to do it anymore. The end.
1,000 migrants stormed through this week. Some swam or used floating tubes, while others broke through a gate on land. Spanish officials say the majority have already returned to Morocco. Some left voluntarily.
I was working when I saw videos of people crossing. I came to try my luck. I thought I would make a better future there.
The chaos comes after a recent Spanish Supreme Court ruling saying migrant arrivals by sea can't be directly deported. Well, Spain's prime minister is blaming criminal networks and human trafficking.
Clearly a land invasion by Morocco.
Definir lo que ha sucedido.
I would like to define what happened.
And everybody is so gullible and woke that they're literally are letting Morocco get away with it.
Happened yesterday as an attack, a violation of the territorial integrity of Spain.
Panic is now spreading across Europe. France is tightening checks on its border, while Italy said it will temporarily suspend its open border agreement with Spain. Across the Atlantic, President Trump blamed the Spanish government's bad management and weak laws.
I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of
land
people.
Invasion, exactly.
And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get
elected.
elected.
Yep,
except
walking
worse.
away.
Much bigger, much easier to get into.
And European leaders will hold an emergency meeting on Tuesday. John?
All right, Steph.
Wow, okay. So next up we got, this is 12 hours ago, the death toll raises to 67 after migrants stormed the Spanish border from Fox News.
Police officers tried to stop us, but our will and our determination, we could came here.
Viva España! Viva España! Hola, Viva España!
Death toll has risen to 67 after more than 60,000 illegal migrants poured across the Moroccan border into the Spanish territory of Ceuta over the last 2 days. President Trump reacting. Watch this.
6-7.
You know, I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse. Much bigger, much easier to get into. We have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time.
Former State Department Foreign Service Officer Simon Hankinson joins us now. Thanks for joining us this morning, Simon. Look, I get it that the Spain's open border policies invited this, but I'm still confused about over a 48-hour period, 60,000 people charged the border. What was it that sparked that invasion?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the conditions have been there for a long time. It's not like that fence got any shorter over the past couple of months. Back in 2021, there were 8,000 people who came over in one day, which is close to our record at the southern border of 12,000. And as you say, in pretty much 24 hours, 60,000 people made it over, of whom most have gone back, although at least 10,000 supposed minors are remaining for Spain to deal with. There had to be some politics behind this. The Moroccans obviously let them through. There are reports that the Moroccans encouraged them, not officially, but through social media and other means, by telling them that they could get
not
into
officially
Spain and that they wouldn't be
not on their official Twitter
account. They
swam.
It comes under a different provision of Spanish law. So I think the struggle between Spain and Morocco, the political animosity there, had something to do with it, and that was the immediate trigger. But the risk is always there.
Right. So, and then you mentioned that the majority of them, we believe, according to Spanish authorities, have returned back to Morocco. Do you really believe that? And then that raises a whole new raft of questions about why they did it.
Right. Right.
I do believe that a lot of them would have gone back because this enclave only has a population of 84,000. They've got a shelter there for migrants that holds up to 500 people. And obviously, there's nowhere for them to eat. You know, they've been taking dumps in the street from what I've seen on video. So I do believe a lot of them went back, but many will stay. And they're all going to claim to be minors. If you looked at that video, these are all men, and they seem to be somewhere in their early 20s to maybe 40s. So you're going to have the same thing we had at the southern border, where 500,000 unaccompanied children supposedly came in. Many of them are over 18. This is going to be the same thing here. They're going to claim to be under 18 and then leave the Spanish government to figure it out.
Yeah, anytime you have 60,000 military-aged young men coming across the border, that's an invasion. And it seems like a very scary invasion, if you ask me. I want to switch gears to this and ask you about Trump's Board of Peace outlining a Gaza peace plan. Obviously, there are a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot that sort of, this is a problem that has been around for literally decades, that politicians have failed to find a path forward towards peace. Basically, what is your basic view of the basic broad outlines as laid out by President Trump and the Board of Peace?
Basically basic?
Yeah, I've been looking through the details. It is fairly vague as to what happens when, and it's been described as a zero-trust deal, which I think is very accurate, because fundamentally there's no trust in the Middle East. You know, Hamas's goal remains to wipe out the Jewish state, let's be frank, and Israel wants to live in peace and security. So, fundamentally they're at odds. This deal is, I think of these deals each time as kind of waves on the beach. They go up and then they go back again. But at the end, we're going to have a low tide where there is some kind of understanding that can be reached, because this can't go on forever. Hamas cannot live forever without any money. And they want to control some land eventually. They want to have some, even if it's behind the scenes, So I see this as maybe not coming to fruition immediately, but it's another step that does advance, I think, the goal.
So obviously, you know, we talk a lot about the war in Iran and how it affects the markets around the world, in particular here at home. But is this an indication that the war has managed to dry up at least some of the funding that was being funneled from Iran to Hamas?
I do think their funding, you know, it's not completely dried up, but if you're looking at who's giving them money, you know, Turkey, Qatar, Iran, they all have their own different interests, and right now their interest is to bring this to some kind of conclusion. So I think Iran is under a huge amount of pressure. Their economy is in worse shape than it's been for a very long time, and they have less to spare. And that will motivate Hamas. But, you know, they are fundamentalists, and so it's kind of like a Mexican standoff at this point.
Yeah. Simon Hankinson, thank you so much for coming on.
All right. And then earlier today, 6 hours ago, data centers are threatening U.S. farmland, Texas officials warn from Fox News.
I don't think that anyone should be worried that a data center is going to be plopped on top of them, because it's local officials, local selectmen and mayors and so on that are negotiating these deals. And they've been negotiating the deals, you know, pretty generously in the sense that they've been happening all over the place.
Nobody should be worried about a data center going on top of your house because we'll pay you. Shut up.
Because the data centers are very good for towns because they create so many jobs.
They're good. They're the great.
Bring people in with high incomes.
They bring jobs. What jobs?
Full steam ahead. That's the White House's position, but communities across America say, not in my backyard.
Goddamn right.
This as the nation sees more and more data centers popping up without warning sometimes, splitting opinion across the country. Some of the people being impacted the most are farmers. Joining us live now is Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller. Sid, I'm so grateful for you to come on this show because we need to make sense of this and put a spotlight on this because so many Americans are suffering through this and going through this and no one is listening. I want to talk about Texas first, and maybe an unlikely ally of yours is Willie Nelson. And he is going off because they are trying to put a data center in his hometown. And here's what he said on social media. He said, I grew up in Abbott, and I still have a home there with farmland where I can still see the stars at night. The last thing we need is a loud, water-thieving, light-polluting data center anywhere near our town or any others for that matter. So tell me what's happening in Texas, sir.
Well, I first became alarmed about a year ago because they were taking up our most valuable farmland. They like our very best farmland because it's usually flat, it's cleared, there's water and electricity there. But once we lose that farmland, it's paved over, we'll never farm it again. So I've been working with Congress. Congressman Pete Sessions is filing a bill for me called Agriculture Freedom Zones, which would encourage development in non-fertile land or marginal land. So that was my first engagement. Then I found out all the electricity and all the water they consume, which is we just can't do it. There's just not enough. They come in, they hook up to the grid. We had our peak load here in Texas 3 days ago. We used 91 megawatts. The data centers we have online and have applied to hook up to our grid will use 500 megawatts.
Wow.
That's 5 times more than our capacity. That dog won't hunt. We cannot do that. And water is the other issue. They consume tremendous amounts of water. And here in Texas, we're up to 32 million people. We're out of water. We lost our sugarcane industry because we didn't have enough water to irrigate. We're pushing out citrus groves, not enough water.
So
our farmers that normally grow 6 crops grew 1 crop of vegetables. Not enough. They're filing bankruptcy. We're out of water.
Sid, let me show you a map.
Filing bankruptcy. We're out of water.
This is the official map.
We're out of water.
About how many data centers are being built across the country. But Erin Brockovich, who everybody knows by now, has got her own interactive map where people can go and plug in their own, data centers that they're seeing in their own neighborhood, data centers that are not being tracked. And that map shows quite a different situation. It's up to, I think, 8,000 data centers that are reported by the community. So if you believe this, a lot of these centers are not being officially reported. Do you think that these companies are building out these data centers without telling anybody before anybody finds out because they don't want any way to stop them?
Do you think Mark Zuckerberg's evil?
When they come into county, at least here in Texas, they have the county commissioners and judges sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, so they can't talk about it. So you're exactly right. Now, I was all for winning the AI data center race, and I'll back Trump on that. We didn't want China to win at anything.
But you can't do it this way. Facts.
But we won the race. It's over. China stopped. They did a moratorium at 470 because
you're just trying to grift now for land. I love this man with this giant head on from Texas being like, they just trying to steal our land now. We already won the motherfucking war.
Got 5,000. We've got 10 times more than they've got, so the race is over.
That plus the flock cameras, fucking hell yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do with all these
unifying issues.
They're going to end up like
Problem is, you got a lot of pro-Trumpers that think that they need the data centers because they think that they're going to do something great with them or build jobs or continue to develop economy through AI against China or some dumb fucking shit. At least the flock cameras, everyone's like, yeah, that's stupid. The only thing you can say against the flock camera is like, hey, don't do that. It's illegal. Don't cut it down. It's illegal. Like, but that person's always existed. Meanwhile, like 10-gallon hat man over here and me need to convince you guys, don't be stupid. The data centers are the same damn thing as these flock cameras. They are a 90-10 issue. As this man just said, we already beat China. They're just trying to steal our fucking land.
Farms, about 20 years ago. But we have to get control of this. In Texas, our counties have no rule-making authority, no ordinance-making authority. You don't even have to have a building code if you build in the county. So that's why they're all rushing to county. It's a wild, wild west. They can do anything they want. And our governor brought them here. He
enticed the farmland of Texas.
He's trying to flip-flop now and make people believe that he's against them and wants to regulate them. But I've called for him to have a special session. He's denied that. I asked him to do a one-year moratorium to allow our legislature to meet and put some guidelines around this new industry. He's refused to do that. I even called for him to return the millions and millions of dollars that he took from the data center industry in his campaign.
Well, let me ask you this, Sid. I got 30 seconds left. Let me ask
you.
Good
job, my guy.
Devil's advocate here, because there are people out there, like you said, we were in this race with China. Maybe we beat them, as the president says. But isn't this the one?
Maybe we beat them. Maybe we beat China at technology, but maybe we got to steal your neighbor's fucking front lawn and put a fucking giant center in front of it. Maybe.
What it's going to cost for innovation in this country. We all remember when cell phone towers went up and people complained about that and all sorts of infrastructure went up, phone lines.
What the fuck? Well, of all the things, we all knew when they put the fucking antenna out there, we didn't really like that at first, but now we like our cell phone. Shut up, lady.
And things like that. Isn't this just
grifter for the fucking mainstream media?
Well, we can do this. We've got some things like deep earth water that'll come online. We got SMR, small modular reactor, but we're not there yet. We can't do it. It's taxing our system way too much on water, agriculture land, electricity. We're going to implode. We can't do this at this rate. We have to have some guidelines and parameters around this new industry.
Well, Elon Musk, I think, has suggested putting some of these data centers, something like that, up in space. So we'll see. Maybe that is the next ask of the president. Hey, Sid, thanks for coming on. Grateful to have you.
The guy knows what he's doing, too, so he's like, yeah, ha, 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 ha. Elon Musk's data center in space after we've already destroyed Earth. Anyway, guys, next up we got Someone Knows Something. Nancy Guthrie search reaches 6 months. This is the first time that Fox News has reported on it. This happened about an hour ago.
News alert, Savannah Guthrie begging for information as tonight marks 6 months since the disappearance of her mother, Nancy, saying in a brand new post on Instagram that somebody out there has to know something. Now, that message comes after Pima County released the alleged ransom notes, with the first one asking for $4 million in Bitcoin, while a follow-up note claimed that Nancy had died. The Pima County
actually, we're gonna stay on what we were on. There's a brand new video that just came out here. And so we're going to stay on the data centers because the EPA
The
has
Trump
an
administration
exclusive
is
interview on
expanding a
Fox
major
News that just
energy
dropped.
pledge, announcing that
Here we go.
80% of all power delivered to American homes and businesses will be protected from price hikes if communities welcome AI data centers. This comes after big tech companies already signed an initial commitment, but now governors, legislators, and utility providers are signing on as well.
The American innovators and consumers thrive to win together because we're insisting that AI data centers and big tech companies
data centers on
pay
the
their
moon
own way.
also, exactly.
And that's what they're doing, and they're happy to do it because this way they're going to be able to function and function brilliantly. They're going to have a lot of electricity left over, and they'll put that into the grid. So we'll actually end up with more electricity. The rates are going to go down.
Stick everything into the grid.
Residents in several states are still concerned.
You know that grid that keeps falling apart every winter?
It takes a lot of water to maintain them, which means
it's like somebody's like, no, we need this technology, keep it, innovation, no regulation, and every person is like, sir, you can't do that.
our water bill is going to be super high.
What is in there for the neighborhood? What is in there for us? Diminished values? Would you like to buy a house 150 feet away from the data center?
Massive amounts of water and electricity. Those funds should not be passed on.
Yeah, joining us now for tonight's big close-up is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. Administrator, you are never shying away from hard questions on this topic, and we can't thank you enough for it. Tonight is no different. Explain to us how this energy pledge comes to fruition. Like, how does it work in actuality? And how does your department or your agency, how does it play a role in it?
Right. Well, this is one of the top pillars for us at EPA to power the great American comeback. We want to help make America the AI capital of the world. And most Americans across this country want the United States to win this race to be the AI capital of the world. This data center build out is a key part of achieving that. But in order to do that, we have to make sure that these data centers are being built where local residents aren't seeing their bills go up. And this ratepayer protection pledge is President Trump's leadership in ensuring that the parties involved in getting these data centers built structure the deal in a way where the people who live in that community, if they're going to see any movement in their bill, they're going to see it to go down, not up. President Trump also in that clip that you just played.
But again, like, how are you doing this? You're just like, we're going to make sure that happens. All right, bye.
He's talking about some of that behind-the-meter effort.
Bro, what?
The effort to be able to generate your own capacity. We're seeing small modular reactors get built. Some data center projects want to be a net taker from the grid. There are good projects out there that want to be a net giver to the grid. And the clip that you played right after that of some people talking about water, from that standpoint, again, examples of good data center deals is one where they're using, for example, a closed-loop data center that's 100% recyclable water.
Then why not mandate
Some of these
that?
data center projects aren't even pursuing that.
Yeah, then what?
One that works.
Right, facts. The reporter's right. It's like, okay, if that's an option, then why not mandate that they do the reusable water one? Because I guarantee you none of these 8,000 data centers are that reusable water one that he's talking about.
Because there are ones that use a lot of water, and it is a problem. Why not mandate that? If this administration and our government is all in on data centers,
we're going to keep listening to this, but we're going to get the next poll up for the breakdown.
They are worried about their water.
Hour 2 starts
if
now.
that is so reliable, why not mandate it so that every data center built, especially that has any government supplement, has that, at least that guarantee in it?
Yeah, so as far as me as EPA administrator, every day that I'm in power, I'm limiting my power. I'm limiting my power to the single best reading of the law, and I'm limiting my power in a way that will limit the power of whoever follows me in this position after me. My message to Congress is, if you want me to do something other than what I'm doing, then change the law, and then I will follow the law, whatever the law says. But we have to be careful with the shoe is on the other foot scenario, where another administration can come in and start really stomping on local control in a really bad way that we'd regret.
Hey, Administrator Kevin Cork, thank you for your time tonight. I want to ask you about what happened in Minnesota. We could talk about data centers all night, but I want to make a little news here. What can you tell us about what happened with respect to the cyber attacks in Minnesota, and what should we know moving forward about some of the ways that we can prevent what happened there from happening elsewhere?
Already asked for.
Cybersecurity is something that's it's not a new issue. It's been out there for a long time, and there's a lot of individual responsibility on the part of companies, of local water systems and infrastructure, of local municipalities, and also state governments. This is something that it's not just fought through our national military or our national intelligence network. There's a lot of responsibility that gets passed off because we can all become victims in a way to this type of offensive effort. I don't have news to report as it relates to any specific attack, anything that hasn't been released publicly. But to President Trump's point that we heard yesterday, I was with him at Camp David, is that you have a lack of leadership right now on the ground in key areas where there isn't enough focus and attention that is being brought to this effort of Homeland Security. You were just talking in the last clip about people illegally coming into a country, people who are illegal, who are registering to vote or even voting. Another aspect of national security is to step up your game of being prepared to be able to counter this cyber attack offensive, which is a threat not just internally within our own country, but can continue to be a threat from abroad.
Certainly. Administrator Zeldin, I want to turn to this part of the
So he can put protections in place that regulate outside nations, but he doesn't want to interfere by being a regulator and creating regulation for private businesses. He thinks that's Congress's job. But then it's also his job to do it when it comes to other countries, not Congress.
The discussion. New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed the first statewide moratorium on data centers, arguing there are environmental concerns.
We know artificial intelligence is changing.
This is kind of the problem. And then you got this retard fucking helping us out. Like, God damn it. Just build the data centers.
Our
Jesus.
World, our civilization at an incredible speed. And,
yep. All right, never mind.
Anxiety just around that.
Build every data center you want, guys.
Water.
Our great defender, Kathy Hochul.
Around the environmental challenges.
But at the same time, Hochul is allowing massive solar farms to take over rural upstate New York, swallowing up prime farmland, crippling local communities with high costs. I'll be honest with you, Administrator, I don't like either idea. I don't want to live by a data center.
That's kind of the fucking point. Is that, like, you guys are making us pick a fucking side here, and we don't want either one. We don't want a fucking farm of solar panels, and we don't want a data center next to where we live. Fuck off.
Or a wind farm, to be quite frank. But, what do you make of this? And not just this aspect or maybe the hypocrisy of it, but just how states are responding to this. This is going to be an issue in the midterms. I think it's going to be a sleeper issue, this issue of data centers. And I think it's going to cut both ways in terms of Republican and Democrat. And what do you make of some of these states taking a stand on it so early out?
See, there's a problem. People like this, solar farms don't turn water toxic. Solar farms are great. Well, I like giant pieces of sheet metal in the field. I think that we should have more giant pieces of sheet metal in the field. Why don't we cover the world in giant pieces of sheet metal in the field? And then you're like, well, Jesus Christ, if we're doing this, I mean, give them some of these giant fucking buildings. Those are less invasive than giant pieces of sheet metal, and at least I get to auto-generate some fucking picture of Elon Musk as a lizard or something. Like, what are we, like...
Well, I mean,
I don't want either one.
Critical.
That's the point.
No!
Albany,
bureaucrats,
no!
Telling local communities, we don't care whether or not you want these solar farms. They're coming to you because...
Blah, 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 solar farm, no! Blah, 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 data center, no! I don't want either one, no!
outrage with these upstate New Yorkers who are not happy about getting steamrolled, getting railroaded by their state capital. They want to have a voice. I mean, you're talking about,
it kills the birds. Facts.
Concerns as
the data center kills the birds too. Done.
Solar farms, and you want that power of your voice. That local control piece is critical. And as it relates to the data,
that's what we should just do every time. Anytime they want to start some new fucking energy infrastructure in our backyard. 27 million trillion fucking bazillion dollars a day. Get your fucking ass back to Washington. No, you're not allowed to build anything. No flock cameras, no data centers, no fucking solar panels, no goddamn fucking windmills. Get your fucking ass back to the goddamn swamp that you created with your stupid reflecting pool and fucking do something.
Center build out. I mean, these data centers are going to get built. They're just not going to get built in New York. They'll get built somewhere else where it's a business-friendly state where they want them. Now you have local communities and residents with questions, so you should be a leader and making sure that data centers are being built in a way that lower rates, that they are being a net provider onto the grid with the energy capacity.
The me generation? Yes, finally. Gregory, like, this is the problem. Like, Gregory's like, wow, you're being so selfish. Actually, my side and my lobbyists say that we are actually the good people. Shut up now! It's in my backyard! No!
And that they aren't continuously using water, that there's 100% recyclable water or better with regards to their plan.
Or better. Oh, wow. Guys! We need to build the data centers because it will create out of thin air more water. I know that some of them take water away. I know we got that whole thing with the Colorado fucking river that we're not figuring out. But did you know, guys, that there are actually data centers that run on water that produce more than 100% water? Wow. Somebody should tell the fucking 6 bison states that are going through a drought in fucking the Colorado River. Aren't you in that meeting? I think you are. I think you were right before you came to this meeting.
Leadership, when you just say, okay, we're going to have a statewide moratorium, we're not going to have any built now. We're talking about projects that are into the billions and the tens of the billions that are just going to get built elsewhere in a state that wants them.
That's right.
Yeah, Administrator,
I really get a kick out of the people who, like, they're on their phones and, like, on social media, and they're typing onto their phone about how they don't want a data center. It's like,
yeah, I get a real kick out of, like, people that, like, they turn their lights on and they don't understand that the windmill actually produces energy. Shut up!
Do you realize?
Shut up!
Data centers are
Boo!
in your lives right now.
No, it's in my backyard. Boo! Build them all around D.C. then. There's a lot of fucking parks planned. Motherfucker.
You're still selling me against it on that one.
Still selling me against it on that one. Facts.
People include a number of Democratic.
Bro can't even get one of the panelists on fucking Fox to even agree with him. No.
Congressional candidates were taking a position very similar to Kathy Hochul's here as well. So it seems that Democrats have decided to really stake their claim on opposition to data centers. And we do talk to a number of Americans.
Yeah, they're like, hey, listen, all 4 of us don't like the data center. And you're over here telling us that it creates water out of thin air. And that's great. But the Democrats... They might gain a lot of power with their crazy blue hair and their fucking let's get rid of ICE and abolish all court systems. If you keep trying to build the data center.
You mentioned who have concerns that we're not
Unreal.
wrestling with the trade-offs to their communities. So do you worry that the left is taking ownership of the opposition to this issue when so many Americans seem to agree with them?
Well, it's important to be concerned about a bad data center deal, a bad data center build getting punched over the finish line.
Yeah, but you got to understand, there's a lot of good data centers. There's data centers that float up into space. There's data centers that fucking cook you cakes. There's data centers that produce you endless money. I mean, I'm telling you, these data centers, they do a lot of different things. You just open the door and it's basically an endless fucking vault of whatever you want.
So that concern is well-founded, but at the end of the day,
it's a concern for every one of the data centers. You're being like, well, a bad data center deal, I'm worried. Okay, every single data center deal is a bad deal. Prove me wrong.
Shouldn't do is just adopt the belief that the worst example.
What we shouldn't do is adopt the belief that we need data centers. Because I believe the 10-gallon hat guy that was on Fox News earlier today that was saying, we already beat China.
Of a data center build out is just the way it is across the country.
Come on, guys. I was at the UFC event and my rich friends really want to build these data centers. Come on, guys.
In my first 9.5 months as EPA administrator, I went to all 50 states. I've been to a lot of groundbreaking.
Come on, guys. I was at the Knicks game and fucking, Taylor Swift needs the data center to reproduce fucking 18 AI albums.
And a lot of these projects are getting built in a way that's responsible. And that's the key to President Trump's ratepayer protection pledge. Make sure bills go down. Electric energy is being provided on the grid, not taken.
Also, I would like to know this data center that produces over 100% water.
From it, and this point
still
that we
trying
with regards to water.
Wrap my head around that one.
Centers, like they're all equal. There's a big range from the good to the bad, and not make believe like it's all bad.
Administrator, real quickly, I want to ask you something. Earlier this week, I had Congressman Tim Burchett on my Outkick podcast, and he said something to me that I thought was really interesting, and I want to get your take on it. He said that after meetings at the Pentagon, he was confident, or at least the idea was thrown out, to have some of these data centers built on military bases or on military land. It can be contained. That way it would take out, this discussion of being on rural land and near people's homes. Have you heard anything about that plan, and what do you think of it?
Well, actually, you see, our nuclear bunkers are actually transplanted underneath the American mall system. And so we've been actually just stealing your land for years, but we've been building underneath your infrastructure. And now as the federal government, we need to build next to it.
Yeah, personally, I think it's a good idea, and the great philosopher Tim Burchett is never wrong.
Then again, go do that. Like, they just gave you two ideas. One, don't do it. Two, go do it on your land. Wow, what a fucking thought.
The beauty of that Carhartt jacket, rolling the hallways of the Capitol, he's right. And it's something that, as far as EPA goes, we have brownfield sites, we have Superfund sites. The siting of these projects, it's really important. You look at the water that is around. If you were to build a data center like right next to a waterway that is receding, they have bad droughts, they don't have the climate to support it. It's a different discussion in the siting in one location versus another that might make far more sense.
Administrator Zeldin, we love having you on. You always bring answers. You don't just avoid and dodge.
What are you talking about?
Dodge,
what answer did you bring?
So we appreciate the heck out of that. Thank you for joining us tonight.
All four of you said, I don't want data centers at the end of the day.
We appreciate that too.
You got to have a great night.
Yes, sir. Tommy, okay, real quick, just really one reaction here. What are your thoughts? I get what he's saying, and even what Tim Burchett's saying. A lot of those military bases get their electricity and things from those same municipalities, though.
Yeah. No, and it's not going to completely solve the problem. But in terms of putting it to the one lady's point about nobody wants to look at a data center, maybe that would solve a little bit of the problem there. I know they want to put one by the Nashville Zoo. People in Nashville are not happy about that one. I will just say, when I brought up this could be a sleeper issue, Kaylee also picked up on that. I do fear that the left is going to use this and the right is ignoring it, and I don't think that's wise.
The Democrats social.
Right. Facts. All right. Now, let's just clarify, Mr. Completely making up shit over here. No data center makes more than 100% renewable energy or water. They consume both, okay? Many large operators, Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Digital Reality, Equinox, and others, report matching 100% or close to it, or their electricity use with renewable energy on an annual basis. This is typically done through power purchase agreements, PPAs, renewable energy credits, RECs, and contracts for new wind, solar projects rather than every facility running exclusively on new sites. So to have a carbon-efficient data center, you would, as a company, need to offset this with PPAs and RECs so that you can offset with windmills and solar energy. They're on the same team, people. If you build a data center, then the only way that you can legally claim that you did 100% renewable energy is by taking tax credits from the federal government from your solar panels and wind farms.
In, I believe it's Wisconsin. That's how she got her foothold.
Be sure. That's not good. That's not good, guys. That one was not good. Not good. Not good. All right, let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's dive deep. Here we go, guys. Are you ready? Our first video up of the day, Asmongold TV, Truth Nuke about female police. Let's get into it. This is the same channel, the based drawing that we were watching yesterday. So if you guys aren't ready for it, get ready for it. Here we go.
Here we go. We'll watch the next one later, okay? I'm not saying we're not going to watch it. I'm just saying we're not going to watch it right now.
Think fast. You're behind cover and an active shooter is...
I'm going to turn it up real quick.
...right in front, fleeing civilians all around. You notice a figure dash... Think fast. You're behind cover and an active shooter is right in front, fleeing civilians all around. You notice a figure dashing next to you. Do you A, try to identify if it's a fleeing civilian, or B, panic and shoot? If you chose B, congratulations. You might be a female police officer. But let's confirm it. After panicking and shooting a civilian, the actual shooter advances. Do you A, hold your ground behind cover, or B, panic, run into the open, and get shot? If you chose B, it's confirmed.
You're a
the
female
scenario
police
I just
officer?
gave is from a recent event
this.
where a female police officer successfully made every worst possible decision available. And it's reignited the
she randomly shot a civilian, and then they let the gunman go until somebody else shot the gunman.
Conversation surrounding women in combat roles, specifically law enforcement. Therefore, in this video, I'll be ranking and debunking every argument in favor of women police officers.
Okay.
And if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. It helps the channel. Women
It's crazy, by the way, how popular this channel has gotten. 4 weeks ago. This is something. I feel like people watch these videos. People like me watch these videos, and there's a form of just catharsis. It's like, yeah, fucking exactly. You know?
Use less force. The argument here is that they are less prone to use excessive force when apprehending suspects,
That's bullshit.
avoiding unnecessary harm, and saving on potential lawsuits.
Yeah.
Proponents use studies showing that
Complete
women are less
bullshit.
likely to receive excessive force complaints compared to their male counterparts. To call this argument deceptive would be an understatement. Of course they use less force,
because
they're
weaker.
less able to. Additionally, male police officers are typically the ones who are made to handle more difficult physical arrests for obvious reasons. Since male officers are made to handle more difficult physical arrests, obviously they get more complaints. Naturally, this goes into NPC tier as a classic midwit argument. When a female officer is staring at a larger, non-compliant male, her options are
the only way they can handle it is by using a gun.
Reinforcements, taser, or gun. Which brings me to my next argument. Women are less likely to draw their gun. This argument argues, again citing studies, that female officers are less likely to draw their guns compared to male officers. Again, an obvious explanation is that men are being made to handle more difficult cases.
Yes.
Which is a demonstrable fact. These broad studies of poor control over variables prove nothing. Furthermore, simple reasoning paints a different picture. A larger, non-compliant male poses an immediate risk to a woman in a way that it doesn't to a man. If a female officer feels threatened, her only recourse is her taser or gun, and tasers are not reliable tools.
True.
Anecdotally, we see
Yeah, they call it skill-based matchmaking, right? So, like, yeah, they don't matchmake into the high PvP, high ELO lobbies, right? It's like you're going to send out Fred, this 6'4", former high school football player, right? That, like, was a linebacker. He's fucking, like, 315 pounds. Like, oh, you know, there's, like, some crazy guy out there. Send out Fred. He'll take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
After case of women feeling threatened and escalating drastically when it's either not necessary or wouldn't have been necessary for a male officer. Again, a failure of intuition and how to properly control variables. NPC tier. Women are better communicators.
Well, I mean, do we really even have to talk about this one? I mean, do we even really need to talk about this? I mean, what do we do?
This is crazy. This is crazy.
What is
better
this?
Communicators.
You serious? The argument cites the claim that women tend to rely on verbal skills more often for their arrests compared to their male counterparts. I'm tired of repeating myself. Of course they are, since they struggle to physically restrain the suspects, and less compliant suspects are delegated. Abyss tier. Let's also address the root cause of these arguments. So far, they've all relied on an implicit sexist assumption that men lack self-control and default to violence, whereas women have more self-control. The studies we do have on this also don't support the idea of women being more in control. Women are twice as likely to suffer from anxiety or panic disorders as men are.
There's no way it's only half. There's no way it's only twice as much.
Yeah,
I think it's probably 4 or 5 times as much, if not more than that.
Panic
to suffer from PTSD. Exactly what you don't
like. Every girl I know is crazy.
Absolutely.
I only know like 2 guys that are crazy.
It's true.
Want from police officers.
10
Proponents
times, maybe.
of this argument cite the fact that men are responsible for more violence. But how do you control for the fact that men are simply more capable of violence?
Exactly.
Or have greater...
Bro, these drawings, yo. These drawings are too much.
Incentives for it. Additionally, since men have this capability, a lot more effort is used in training them to control it since boyhood, a process that is often neglected on girls, which explains a lot of modern phenomena.
Yeah, female
NPC
aggression.
tier. Better results with victims. This argument makes the case that women typically get better results trying to get victims of abuse or similar crimes to open up. This is actually true, and it's one of the ways that women have genuinely contributed. And the best part? It doesn't require women to be police officers or in combat roles.
That's right.
They can be social workers, consultants, or other forms of outside help.
A therapist.
So that their unique talents can be fully utilized without having to put their lives and others at risk by doing something they're not suited for. Flawed tier. Better community perception. The claim here is that the populace prefer and trust female officers more, which is highly debatable.
Fucking God, bro. When you see a female officer, do you think, oh, I'm safe?
What happened to tearing down gender stereotypes? Public perception is just stereotyping. Why are we condemning stereotypes when it goes against the agenda, but using them as an argument when it's in favor?
Facts.
Because they love stereotypes when it's in their best interest. That's the reason why.
This is clearly just a rationalization. It's already been decided women are to be police officers, and now they're just finding excuses for it. Abyss tier.
Garbage.
Tasers negate physical disadvantages.
No, they don't.
Only the most delusional deny the obvious physical differences between men and women.
Oh my God.
Which is why we have such reduced standards
that?
for physical ability when admitting female officers.
Jesus.
This begs the obvious
retarded.
question. Why are we accepting subpar candidates just because of their gender?
Yeah.
Their counter is physicality doesn't matter. The taser exists. Already, this is foolish. Chases, wrestling, takedowns are all part of the job. But even more importantly, how reliable are tasers?
Not very.
Well, for starters, a portion of the population are just flat out immune to them. The ranged option is extremely limited, inaccurate, and hard to reload. And a taser is often best used when already in a melee altercation, which involves grappling and
because you have to be
wrestling.
close.
Only an NPC can argue that physicality
literal
doesn't
garbage
matter
tier.
in law enforcement.
Yes.
Physicality is the only meaningful difference. Not only does this argument set aside a very important difference, this argument also contradicts earlier pro-women officer claims, as well as the statistics we have regarding likelihood of
Yeah, you're going to say it's fine, but then you're going to use the physicality as a Dutch, like...
panic and anxiety disorders. And it goes deeper. Reaction time, spatial awareness, innate...
See, this is the reason why men beat women in every single competitive sport that has to do with anything that's like hunting related. Like if you can imagine killing an animal that's this way, the odds are that men are going to be outperforming women by like a metric of like 100 to 1, 1,000 to 1, probably 10,000 to 1. This is just the way it is. Even chess. Like, even
Yeah.
chess. It's exactly it.
And they just keep being like, no, I can fight the lion.
Hierarchy. Are
Okay,
all
bro.
things men outperform women in
Okay,
and
lady.
are invaluable in combat
Go
roles.
fight the lion yourself.
The belief that the only differences between the genders are physical is quintessential midwittery.
Yep.
NPC tier. It's necessary for gender equality.
Oh, Jesus
This argues that even
Mm-hmm.
if the disadvantages of women in law enforcement and
That's the
combat
worst
roles are
argument.
conceded, it's still necessary in the name of gender
Even if it's
equality.
bad.
The issue
Even if
is
It's crazy how women always need to have the roles that are like high value, but we don't need. Why do we not have gender equality with garbage men? Why do we not have gender equality with a janitor? Those are never discussed.
Electricians.
if we need to accept worse performance and a higher risk to people's lives just to include women, then gender equality does not exist, whether you include them or not. You can call reality sexist all you want. It won't
It's still
change to
reality.
accommodate your sensibilities.
Yep.
But you will get people killed by denying it.
That's true.
Abyss tier. Men and women are different. And if you can't accept that, that can't be blamed on just your stupidity.
True.
That's a choice, and one that's costing lives. That concludes the tier list. If there are any other arguments we'd like to
There are no
share,
good arguments.
please share them in the comments below.
There are no good arguments.
And I would like to give a special thank
I'm
you
gonna link
to
you guys
all
the
our
video.
channel members, our patrons, and those who bought merch.
165,000
We greatly appreciate your
followers
support,
now.
as this channel would
Subscribers.
likely not be possible
Yeah,
without
this is
it.
basic logic.
If
and
you
we're
would like
doing
to
the
participate
Asmongold
in our
commentary of
supporter-exclusive
basic
Discord, make sure to check out the link in the description below.
I love his
Wow.
videos. He tackles some of the most extreme and some of the... He tackles the things that you're not supposed to talk about. He talks about them, and I like that a lot. I do. I love it. I love the animations. I do, too. And watch the gay Hitler video. We'll watch the gay Hitler video tomorrow, okay? I'm just not ready to watch it today, but we'll watch it tomorrow. Does that
What?
sound fair?
What?
Okay, you couldn't have said these things 10 years ago? No, you weren't able to say these things 10 years ago. Keep subbing to this guy. I want to see these channels grow a lot more.
Based Logic, guys. Go follow Based Logic. And now they killed the greatest franchise of all time. Asmongold is reacting to something LGBTQ or cancel culture related.
Speaking of
with
chuds, Andy Pants made a new video.
Halo.
Oh boy.
Halo is over, guys. It's done.
And it's Master Chief fat with a
Yeah.
gay pride flag
That's
in a wheelchair.
That's a wild.
And it said, "Who killed
thumbnail.
Halo?"
Oh, bye-bye. Here we go.
Here we go.
Halo used to be heroic, masculine, right-wing, pro-military, pro-America. Now it's fucking gay and worked on by theater kids. Campaign Evolved is so bad.
Wow.
That was in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Halo used to be heroic, masculine, right-wing, pro-military, pro-America. Now it's fucking gay and worked on by theater kids. Campaign Evolved is so bad you have the level designer for...
Like, imagine, like, that was one of the biggest things culturally in the early 2000s. You could have lifted an entire military-industrial complex on just Halo games alone. And you just fucking blew it, Xbox. You
Halo
blew
3
it,
saying
Microsoft.
stuff like this. The Halo devs have apparently decided that the majority of Marines should now be women. I'm fine with occasionally seeing a woman Marine, whatever, but we're starting to enter clown world territory here. For Campaign
That's
Evolved,
ridiculous.
which is a remaster of Halo 1, 343 thought it was a good idea to add 3 missions to the beginning of the game, centering around this dog-ugly bulldyke as she one-ups Chief.
Not bad, Spartan. I'm almost starting to believe the propaganda.
It's a
Bro, it's like
again, it's just like with these movies. Like, you're remastering an art, like a game already, and the reason you're remastering it is because it's the original. You're trying to bring people like me that might have played Halo back onto the system to play it. And the add-on storylines you're adding on to my fucking game are 3 missions with a lesbian dyke. Like, what are we doing?
Watched my video about Chief being a disabled trans girl boss and thought I was pitching an idea for a new Halo. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
I watched that one too.
So what I've been doing the past week is going back and playing the first 3 Halo games, and what stuck with me was number 1, how pro-military and right-wing these games were. Number 2, how much these games focused on religion, and number 3, how the entire lore of the original games was thrown away with Halo 4. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Old school Halo would make your average little liberal soy cuck today piss their pants.
Be gone from me, you soy boy beta cuck.
Legendary mode on Halo Combat Evolved would filter all these pussies.
I think Halo 2 Legendary was way harder, because in Halo 1, you could still run away and then have your friend respawn. In Halo 2, if your friend dies in Legendary mode, you both have to restart. And, like, that was crazy whenever you would do that one mission where they had all the Jackal snipers. So, like, you would lose your buddy, and then immediately, fucking instantly, and you died. It was brutal, man.
That didn't get rid of them. We would troll the shit out of their mom in our Halo lobbies.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember teabagging, guys? Do we remember teabagging? I guess that's probably not even a thing anemore. Remember teabagging?
So what changed? And it's simple. Halo has been hijacked by pronoun people. It's been hijacked people who talk about racism and misogyny. You can see this in the people who work on Halo now. Here's a guy who hates guns working on Halo. Here's a dude who is a Fruit Loop working on Halo.
Dude who's a Fruit Loop working on Halo. Community managers, look at this guy. Look at what he's saying. Please continue pushing for more human rights for your fellow Americans, especially for marginalized communities. Even if you may not fully understand their plight, they deserve.
He's developing a military game. Shut the fuck up! This is so crazy.
Freedoms and protections that you do. Oh my God, what a loser.
Here's a black woman who was the chief of staff of Halo at one point. And you see this showing up in the game itself now. The original Halo games were heroic and pro-military. Yep. Now you have Catherine Halsey and everybody questioning whether Chief is even the good guy or not.
Hopefully.
I thought you'd be taller.
343 Studios or Halo.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Master Chief is canonically 6'6" or 6'7".
Jesus Christ.
Studios, nobody gives a fuck.
So
whatever they're called now,
really
they obviously hate Master Chief and they hate everything he stood for in the original games. Never has there been a worse downfall from OG Bungie to 343 Halo Studios.
I don't know how
Bro,
they haven't
back
been
in the
shut
day,
down.
Bungie, without having social media or anything, was obsessed with their game and wanted to make fans happy. It's simple. Halo CE launched in 2001 and it had single player, co-op, and multiplayer on launch, all on one disc, big dog.
Wow.
And it cost like $50 million to make. The virgins and beta males who made Halo Infinite, the game cost $400 million and all they could do on launch was a wet fart single player campaign. But don't worry, the Pride armor, the Women's Day armor, the Black History Month armor were all right on time.
There's no way this is real, right?
The Black History Month armor?
Like, I want you guys, like, this is not
Black
real, right?
History Month armor is...
This is like AI.
What the?
No. Okay, give me a minute.
Yeah, we gotta know.
Black History Month Halo armor. Black History Month armor customization.
No way. It's actually real. Stop it. What the fuck?
Like, have you ever thought about that? Why do these gay-ass studios have to delay their game, but they never delay Pride armor? They never delay gay-ass Black History Month.
They never delay Pride armor. They always delay their game, but they never delay Pride armor. That's why video games are dying.
Month armor. Yeah. They're just soft, dude. It's a bunch of soft virgin incel men who wear dresses fucking working on Halo now. It used to be military-based chads, and now it's homos making this game. So anyway, boys, let's get into the main topic of this video because, like I said...
That wasn't the main topic.
That wasn't the main topic.
Wait, you couldn't have the fuel rod cannon in Halo 1? This has to be a mod. Could you?
I replayed the first 3 Halo games, and I want to go into 3 major
Xbox
points
version.
about exactly why the
On
Halo
PC?
games are so bad now.
Okay.
Number 1, the original Halo games made you feel like a hero.
Yeah.
343 turned Master Chief into a cuck, a simp, and a morally gray bad guy. Number 2, the original Halo games were primarily military engagement video games. The 343 games are practically anti-military games and completely get away from the series' roots. Number 3, Halo has always been a deeply religious game.
It is.
The 343 games stripped all the religious stuff out, and it doesn't feel like a Halo anymore.
Is that true? I haven't played.
And here's the thing is that, like, if you're doing that, that's kind of like even deeper because, like, you do need the lore of, like, the ideology of one of the Abrahamic faiths of, like, a one true God to bring about a hero's journey, to bring about a good narrative. Ain't nobody want your atheist story,
I just
bro.
heard they were retarded, so I didn't do it. But, like, yeah, I mean, if you know anything about the lore, yeah, I mean, that's obviously, like, I mean, there's an entire class of the Covenant called the Prophet. What the hell do you think?
Let's get into it. One final caveat here. When I talk about the good Halos, I'm referring to everything up to including Halo Reach. When I talk about the bad...
Yeah. I got the Halo Reach poster right over there.
Halos, I'm talking about Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Infinite, and this new Dogwater Campaign Evolve thing.
God, Campaign Evolve. And it was supposed to be the original story.
Replaying Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3 again, I realized what made these games so powerful, and it's the feeling of being the hero. You are Spartan John 117,
You're that
a Christian
guy.
reference to the Bible, by the way. You are a super soldier created by humanity to save them. Nobody can do what you do. You are humanity's greatest warrior. And Marty O'Donnell's legendary soundtrack specifically leans into this feeling. I think of the Forward Unto Dawn towering over you.
Think about how many times you've seen people singing the Halo, like, fucking theme song, I guess you could say, main theme, in a fucking church.
Sky and dropping off tanks in Halo 3. I think of running headfirst into battle in Halo Reach. I think of mounting a final offensive in Halo 2. The developers at Bungie were simply Chads. They were actually men. They cared about things like heroism and not being a little trans, troony beta cuck. Jump over to 343 Industries and you see grown men showing up to work in dresses. They're evil. They're demonic. They have mental illnesses. And of course, you see this come across in their games. Halo.
It's actually crazy. Like, bro, he just says it. He actually just fucking goes and says it. Based review? Yes. Oh my God.
Halo 4 opens with Dr. Halsey essentially being called a war criminal for making the Spartans. Halsey is first mentioned in the book from 2001, but never shows up in the early games except for in Halo Reach. Reach never treated Halsey as a war criminal, but rather somebody who made hard decisions to save humanity. So again, the cuckening of Halo. 343 is attacking their own main character. But it gets worse. Most of Halo 4 is just Chief simping for Cortana. He has no real mission.
Well, at least back then it made sense. Like, I get the idea here. But, like, I mean, now she looks like a dude.
Anymore. They're just trying to get back to Earth, and then they accidentally open a Forerunner artifact, and out pops the Didac. The last thing Chief says in Halo 3 is, "Wake me when you need me." Wake me when you need me. To me, this implies that Chief should be kept in cryosleep until there is a clear mission for him. And that
guys,
never
let's move
actually
on from
happened
this.
in Halo 4.
Let's get on to the next one. The next one we got is, I can't even defend this anymore, Asmongold. I think this is the one where he's responding to
Third World
to Sneako.
Streamer rages at me and cries. What is this? Is he really crashing out at everybody? Okay.
Say good goy slop, good little goy. Make your stupid YouTube video. Oh yeah. Do that forever. You're a good little goy for them. Good slave. Nice slop.
No, I actually triggered this dude so hard he looked like he was about to cry, but more on that later. I was so bad at my video, he tried to look me up and see what I look like.
Does he show his face ever?
Does he show his face ever?
Also,
Oh my
Muslim
God, bro.
Jihad, what is global jihad? They're just using these phrases. What is that?
I love how he's like, what's global jihad? By the way, there's a bunch of people
Holy
invading
shit.
Spain. Oh yeah, this is the future, brothers. This is it.
the future.
Oh, I don't know what this is. What are you doing?
What is that? You see what Loomer's saying too?
Bro put his cursor on my chud face and didn't say anything. I clowned this fool so hard he started showing his viewer demographics.
Is this him proving that he doesn't have everybody watching him from Pakistan?
Wait, is his viewer demos?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why-
It seems
why
like
is
at
he
least
showing
10%
his
are
viewer
from
demos?
Pakistan.
10% from Pakistan.
Sure, buddy.
So what the hell even happened? Why is Sneako of all people crashing out on me? Well, a couple weeks back I made a video sort of clowning on him for yelling Allahu Akbar in the street.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! We're not the same. We're not in the same conversation. I don't need to know you.
Whoa, pipe down. I think you got a cortisol spike.
You ever been banned from a country? You ever been banned from Australia? You ever had secret police following you around? Have you?
Why would they follow the CIA? I'm literally an asset, Sneako. I'm coming after you.
Have you ever had people connected to the Trump administration tweeting, calling the FBI? You ever had to look around your apartment for bugs?
I doubt they're in your apartment, but they might be in your skin, dude. Pakistan had a power outage this morning. The whole country lost access to the internet. Sneako is now at 29 viewers.
29
Are they
viewers
really
in
doing this to
Pakistan.
him? God damn.
Oh no.
It's bad.
And look who he uses as a source. Yeah, well done.
A source for what? This is a joke, dude. Look at the
It's a
chat.
joke.
Simon Netanyahu if he said he would deport Sneako.
The guy's name is Fart Butt Poop. Okay, great.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Go true. Amen to that one.
They talk about me more than they talk about Israel. They talk.
Oh.
It's always the same fucking
It's the same thing every time.
single time. It always goes back to this one
Israel.
insular.
Israel.
A lot of places in Israel are pretty shitty. Tel Aviv is nice, but some of the places outside of it not so great. All roads lead to Israel. Holy fuck, man.
I know,
Talk
it's
about
so
me
crazy.
more than they talk about their country being occupied. Me more than the trillionaires giving hundreds of thousands of H-1B visas. They talk about me.
Oh, friendly fire, dude. You are an H-1B visa.
For legal reasons, that's a
Sneako's fallen off and he's just
Bro, this guy is killing it. This guy is killing it.
botting his views because his chat is dead.
Are you guys asleep? What are you talking about?
I bought my views. Do I need to show my KPP right now? You know what? Like, this is starting to...
I was calling him out for his YouTube viewers, and for some reason he wanted to show me his kick stats. Like, okay, dude, that's not what I said.
I'm about to do it. Don't get baited from this.
God.
You're right. I won't.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
I'm not botting. This is clarified by the Kick
He's not
CEO.
botting.
Sure, buddy.
Kick is also a gambling.
Yeah, again, it's a Kick is, yeah, exactly. Kick is a gambling site, and you're like, hey, the legitimacy of Kick. Bro, fucking show us your YouTube stats or shut the fuck up.
Blood money website to stream on anyway,
Yeah,
so I'm pretty
duh.
Great. That means I can make a lot of blood money. Oh, awesome. I didn't know that. Do I get to do the sacrifice myself? Can I pay extra for that?
sure that's haram. Not that this dude knows anything about Islam or following its rules.
Astaghfirullah! I forgot!
If you're tuning in to Sneako and
Oh my god, bro. The fucking... Oh, Jesus.
Big 2026, I got news for you. And then I swear to God, he started...
You know, the thing is, too, like, these anonymous people hide forever because they're afraid of showing their own face.
Yeah, he actually cooked me. I have no recovery here.
You have never stood up against injustice. You have no idea what it's like.
Hey, take that back. I was the one complaining about Clove's pronouns back in the day. That is...
Richest man in the world from Africa, trillionaire, calling to deport me from my own country. What do you know about this? Have you ever been banned from Australia?
Like it's some victimhood that Elon Musk is calling him out by name. Give me a fucking break, Sneako. All right, on to the next one. We got the Israeli president over on Fox News doing an interview at noon today. Let's check it out.
It's his comments in the last few years. Mamdani does not respect my nation's right for self-determination, my nation's right, the Jewish people's inherent right to have a nation of their own. And he's basically spreading blasphemy, hate, anti-Semitic rhetoric. He should understand that he's risking his own citizens. is risking their safety, well-being, and life. We've seen the stabbing just a few days ago in New York, in a New York street, just because somebody was dressed as an Orthodox Jew. This cannot be accepted in New York, which is a city which is dear to our heart, dear to the Israelis, and dear to me personally. I graduated school in New York. I went to college in New York. I love New York. I started my political career in New York. I think New York is an incredible
I started my political career in New York, and now I'm the president of Israel. And I see nothing wrong with that. That's kind of like, these people are just so fucking surface, dude. Netanyahu doing the fucking Burger King podcast, now Fox News, this is the president of Israel.
New York will continue way after Mamdani, and I hope he won't create an irreversible damage. And I hope that the citizens of New York will be as safe as was promised to them. So the Iranian regime is for decades a strategic threat to world stability, not only to Israel, not only to the Middle East. You think about it, they take their people's food and money and spend it on terror all over the world. It's a given fact. They can't deny it. There are terror cells of Iran through its proxies or by itself all over the world. You ask yourself why a nation of this nature wants to have so much terror activity around the world, and that is because of ideology. And the ideology is extremely dangerous, and the ideology does not accommodate any other religion or moderate Islam for that matter. That is why it is so dangerous. That is why you see their behavior. You see it in the missile program, you see it in Hormuz, you see it in the nuclear desire, you see it in the butchering of tens of thousands of its citizens, you see it in the proxies and the hate they spread, and look how much suffering. So many American citizens were killed by this regime. So that is, it's a major threat to American national security interests. President Trump speaks from the heart when he speaks about his love and respect of Israel and support of Israel. And he also carried out in deeds. I mean, we Israelis, we vividly remember the moving of the American embassy to Jerusalem, his declaration on the Golan
Homeboy banned me when I was saying demonetized when he smoked the joint.
Heights.
Welcome back, Fred.
Endless support.
How was the timeout?
The Israeli position in so many issues. And of course,
you got my feels yesterday. I was like, just leave my fucking joint alone.
The fact that because of President Trump, we had the hostages coming back home. This is something big. Of course, there were many, many efforts.
This is
there
crazy.
Were many people taking decisions.
Bro, why are you on Fox News doing this?
Put his foot down and pushed and negotiated brilliantly to bring back our hostages. So I have huge respect. We can have divisions over issues or some arguments, but that does not derogate for the enormous respect we have for President Trump. More than that, I believe that there is something biblical and prophetic in the way our nations work together. And I truly believe that Israel should be a bipartisan issue of friendship and support. And I'm aware about the tendencies to, of course, change views on Israel, to go negative on Israel. But I truly believe that our relations as nations transcends all of this. And this I'm speaking bipartisan, also after speaking to major leaders in the Democratic Party or previous presidents. So all in all, I say that President Trump, in his position right now, has shown immense support and friendship.
Fox isn't afraid of what's going on right here? No, exactly. It's like, bro, you're saying the quiet part out loud.
Well,
he's acting like it's normal.
Young generation is extremely dear to our hearts. And I think part of the issue is that the information is supplied through distorted channels, superficial channels. It's very easy to smear Israel on TikTok, but that doesn't say the real truth. And I invite every young American.
I can't say anything about Israel on TikTok, nor can I. Every time I even talk about Netanyahu, I get demonetized. I do not get the same when I talk about Kalamani. So again, like, your corporate infrastructure is the censorship that you claim that is fucking your demise. That's what makes me confused about you, sir. You seem like a victim that isn't really a victim because you're the people that are controlling and silencing my free speech.
Set foot in this country. In Israel, this is the place where innovators flourish.
Pop was a real bad dude.
This is the place when startup
give him 40 years.
flourishes. This is the place where great
the Joe Biden of Israel
are given to the world and contribute enormously to the world in so many great fields. From
the Joe Biden of Israel, everybody. All right, we're done with that. The president of Israel. Moving on now, Tim Dillon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Hope all of you are enjoying your summer. We have 1 month left, and then it will be over, and then it ends, and then you are back into the hellish grind. Many of you are still there right now, actually. I don't know why I'm even saying that. Many of you are still in that hellish grind. Really, truly, many of you are there, and this summer means nothing. The summer means nothing to most people, unless the summer meant nothing to me for many years until I had a little bit of money. And the summer means a lot when you're a kid, and then nothing again until you have $1. It's true.
Yeah.
When you're young, it's like summer matters. Great. I'm out of school. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to the beach. And then summer just becomes hellish and hot. And then if you don't have the resources to enjoy it and you don't live by a body of water, and the body of water you live by is, it's like, it's not swimmable.
When the rich get going, the poor get fucked.
A lot of people live by a body of water. It's like a stagnant pond with brain-eating amoeba. And it's like the dumping ground of the local chemical company. So summer then it just becomes hot. I remember for years summer was just
becomes hot.
Unbearably hot and miserable, and you would sit in your car.
How many of us think that it's just hot?
And you would stick to the leather. And I remember one summer many years ago, Burger King came out with a bacon sundae. Get that up. There was a bacon sundae, and it wasn't good.
It sounds like it might be.
It came out, and they had it one year during the summer, and it was a sundae with bacon on it. Vanilla soft serve, hot fudge, caramel, bacon crumbles, and a full strip of bacon. Released in June 2012 for $2.49. The 510-calorie treat was part of the summer barbecue promotional menu before being quickly discontinued. And it was 2012, and it was hot, and they gave you the bacon sundae. It was a sundae with a full strip of bacon on it. You'd eat it in your car. And that's, now the summer is a lot of rage bait, meaning like, the places like Nantucket or out in the Hamptons, the amount of money that it costs to be involved to any degree in those places is offensive to people. And, the new thing is the food markets. Like, everybody's obsessed with these food markets that have like a $400 melon, or, in California, Erewhon had a $19 strawberry. These are stupid things that are designed to get publicity and elicit rage from people. I get it. People are like, hey, I can't fill in the blank. Feed my kid. And somebody's having one strawberry for $19. And none of these things are real. Like, they are real, they exist, but they're kind of designed to get publicity, to make people mad. And then these things go viral, and then people find out about these places. Yeah, a musk melon selling at the Hamptons grocery store for $400. And I guess it's like some Japanese melon, and my friend had it, actually. I had a bite of it. It's whatever. It's a fucking melon. Melons suck. And
it's a fucking melon.
And there's a backlash, an understandable backlash against this type of consumption. they call it conspicuous consumption. People that, people talking about the status of going to this grocery store and spending this amount of money on lobster salad and da-da-da-da-da. And that's why I feel like the vibes in New York City are a lot better than the vibes out east on Long Island, because there's been a turn. Mamdani is the mayor. He's very popular. The young folks are going to the left, and they look at the Hamptons, and they kind of go, ugh, yuck. And to their credit, and to give credit where credit is due, the silliness
it is stupid
of people running around all these high-end grocery stores trying to
It is stupid, and it takes forever to get to these fucking places. All right, up next we got one of our body camera footage videos. We love these guys, and of course we always go with Asmongold on the body camera footage because greatest commentator ever. Here we go.
Entitled woman doesn't believe in private property. Okay.
Entitled woman doesn't believe in private property.
I'd be willing to watch this. That's fine.
Hello. Hi, what's going on?
Be on the property. She knows she
can't be on the property.
She wants a no trespassing.
Wait, hold on, time out. Stop. Does she have no trespassing right now?
No, but there's no loitering. So there was 4 of them back here, 3 of them left. She didn't want to leave.
I just, is it a law to not give?
This is private property.
It's private property, okay.
Right, so you can leave now, or they could do a no trespassing, so if they see you here, you get arrested.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's up to you what you want to do right now. Do you want to leave, or?
Am I getting the no trespassing?
Am I getting arrested?
Hold on,
You might.
Why do you want one?
Well, listen, I didn't say I wanted one.
Okay, so do you want one?
So I'm asking you, next time that I come and I'm sitting on this property, right? Because for whatever reason, sometimes I sit here. So listen, if I'm sitting here next time, am I going to get arrested?
No, but.
Okay, so then.
But they can ask you, can you please leave? And then they could choose right now to no trespass you right now.
Okay, that's their choice.
We might in a minute here, depending
But
on
I'll walk away.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Do you want to work with them, or do you?
I'm probably going to come back later because I chill here sometimes.
But then they have every right.
Yeah, I'm probably going to chill here. I'm not going to, because I don't have anywhere else to chill.
What?
I'm probably going to chill here. No, you're
I'm not trespassing, I'm chilling.
I'm chilling.
Just want you to leave or go. You don't want
She's talking herself into a no trespassing. She's talking herself into a no trespassing right now.
They immediately clock this. I love it.
Dude.
So
let me know.
You said not
they
leaving?
don't want to do one. They just want her off the property.
All right, so
that's all they want.
We're not trying to get her in trouble. We actually just want her.
That's what I appreciate. That's why I'm trying to work with you. This is a private property.
Am I violating a law right now by standing here?
Yeah.
How so?
So this is would you say
He just goes, yeah.
It's the private property, right?
I'm not
in this
sure.
area.
I'm not sure if
It's
this is.
I'm telling
Please
you.
stop yelling.
He's not yelling.
Can you stop yelling at me? Fucking A. He's trying to
make sure I appreciate this.
He's trying to
literally
fucking
correct.
tell
It's
you.
amazing. It's obvious. Yeah, they're trying
Jesus
to help her.
Christ.
They do
They're
everything
trying
they can
to, every time.
All right.
Always trying to help
Sorry.
her.
Excuse me. We're good. Let me get to it.
Could be civil. They ask you to leave. Just go somewhere else. Or we could go through the no trespassing
Is this
route,
the first time?
and then you most likely spend the night in jail.
Right now, am I violating the law by standing
Yes, you are.
Which law?
Because they ask you to leave the property.
So is that the law? Which
Yeah.
law? I don't want. Which law is
Which
that?
trespassing?
So right now I'm trespassing.
Yes.
Do I have the no trespassing order already?
They can put it on you right now.
So
they're trying to avoid you getting in trouble.
Not breaking the law.
Yeah, but
Correct.
let's say when we do have one.
Yep, then I
they'll
will
ask
walk
you to
away.
leave.
Not gonna
You
listen.
guys are gonna have
It's not really on you guys.
Oh my God, this is gonna get so bad. I know it.
All of this.
Yes. Whatever you guys want.
Yeah.
She wants to.
She talked herself into it. All you
she
had
did.
to do was leave and then come back later, but
Yeah,
that
you're
wasn't
fine.
enough. You had to misunderstand it on purpose.
They were perfectly fine with you going.
You guys are putting the no trespass
Because you're not leaving. They're trying to be nice.
Can I please have a copy of that paper?
Yeah.
I'll walk to the stationing with you.
Wait, but why are you you don't even have to do this.
I don't even, but
You don't even, she's even laughing. But you don't even have to do this, lady. Why? Why
I
do
think
this?
she's on probation. Being trespassed while on probation may violate the probation, leading to a
Oh my
required arrest.
God.
Uh-oh.
Really? Oh my God, lady. I knew it was going to escalate.
Now, I'm going to need to grab your name.
Why?
Because you can go over a call. This is a call for service. I need to know who you are, right? And I'm just gonna give you a fair warning. If you give me a wrong name, you'll be arrested for obstruction.
I don't care.
So first name, last name, date of birth.
I'm on probation though. Is this gonna violate?
We don't know.
Is this gonna like it? Again, if you're on probation, why are you doing this? You're on probation, why are you doing this?
I'm not gonna. What the hell?
What's your name?
I'll meet you at the station where you can serve me with the no trespassing.
Where is?
You're a
What is your name?
bad one, my guy.
So you guys are putting the no trespassing.
Clearly on drugs, yep.
Yes, because you're giving me no.
Okay,
choice.
just to clarify, after, and I have no problem giving you my name.
That guy? Not on the south side.
I give you my name, blah blah blah.
Up in
How is
or
the
up in
execution
fucking
no trespassing?
Evanston though? Should be
You
doing that
leave
shit.
your leave. If you don't leave, then you get
And
arrested.
if they see you on the premises,
How do you
white
not
lady.
know this? What do you think
Yeah, what do you
happens?
think is gonna happen?
Like, I mean, really, like,
What are you
do you
arguing
think? They
about?
tell you to leave, and what if I don't leave? Well, then you get arrested. Duh. Like,
Correct, but
but
served to me, and
I'm going to hand it to you. If they see you on the property, they
Oh,
call us.
shit.
I meet you for this to happen.
Right here.
All right, guys, that's our show for right now because we are dropping out. But then JD Vance wins this hour. We will be back live again in a minute here. We're going to probably watch maybe the end of this. We'll watch a little bit more of Tim Dillon, at least the political side of it. We'll get into some Reckless Ben potentially with Courtney Love, a fake tortoise rescue situation, as well as potentially Drew Binsky going 5 days into Libya, Africa, the most dangerous African nation. So if you are interested in that live stream, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, get the notification bell because I'm going to be going live in about 5-10 minutes here again with all of that and having a good night with you guys. We always go outsea at the end of the hour if we're under 50 people. So with that said, guys, part 2 starts in a few minutes. I appreciate you all stopping by. Remember to help support the channel. Throw those super chats in, but not even just the super chats, guys. Help support the channel. $4 a month. Become a member. I really, really do appreciate every single one of our members. It makes this channel happen. It makes it so that I don't have to go out and get a sponsor right now. Like, I'm getting like 6 or 7 million impressions, but I really don't want a sponsor where I have to fucking like, you know, Clorox, and you can't say anything bad about Clorox, and you can't say these bad words, and you can't do this, and we got to regulate all this shit. I need you guys to become members so that we can do that. So please become a member today, and I will see you all in a minute. Until then, peace.